Hey, what's up, everybody? And it's Monday. Where is. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Let's switch the chat to live chat. And let's check out some old rations tonight. I believe that's 60. Wait, no. 60. It's 69 or 70. I'm not sure. Can't remember exactly where that one came from. And then this one, I'm pretty sure is an 87, I think. This, obviously, there's not going to be much edible in this. I assume we will see what I can salvage from this thing. And, man, it's always fun doing the MCIs. It's kind of like well, for me, it's like a Christmas gift because there's something always good in the ones that are 72 and before. See, I really want to find a case of 72s, late 72s if possible. Like December would be perfect. Just to confirm that there would still be cigarettes in a 72 from December. Then I would like to find like a January of 73 and see if they're gone. Because I don't think we've ever exactly nailed down the date. I think it's just assumed that 72 was the end of the cigarettes, and we've just kind of taken it at that. We've never dove in and found the definitive evidence that they were gone January of 73 and they were still there December of 72. It's possible that they were removed sometime in the middle of 72. I don't know. Let me make a real quick post. Hey, I seen K-Man's here. What's going on? Angry Blacksmith. Howdy, howdy. I guess I can turn this around while I'm... Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Oof. Do you guys see, like, when you're on YouTube, do you see fake Mr. Beast giveaway type stuff a lot? Just hanging out for a bit, feeling a little under the weather. Yeah, I've been under the weather too, and I had 2 doctor's appointments, and both of them got canceled. So I had a really bad sinus, so bad that like my face swelled up, which I've never had that happen before. And I know you can probably still hear it in my voice. It's just it was weird, and anyway, I don't want to talk about it. Feeling somewhat better. I would say I'm like probably 85% recovered. I just need to get that 100% though, so I don't slip back. See, that's the thing. It happened to me twice. I slipped back into symptoms and having issues. So there we go. Share. Can I? Let me see. Okay, crop everything else out. Done. Save the photos. All right. Anyway, anybody had anything interesting going on lately? Anything happen? Any ration news that you've happened to come across would be cool. I hadn't been on Slack in literally, I want to say about a year. It felt like forever, long time. And I was on there the other day, and I happened to see that Nathan was posting ration videos again, which I do remember him saying that he was out of the ration review game or whatever you want to call it. I guess that's what profession job. He looks at it as a job, I believe. Not really ever having injected himself into the community or anything, as far as I'm aware. I mean, that could have changed. All right, post is done. Hey, Multi-Magnum, Viper. Hey, what's up, Peter? Not the Peter from back in the day, are you? I think he was from Switzerland, maybe? I don't know, he had a cool accent. He done a lot of ration videos. I'm pretty sure he still had a channel and was still doing a channel, and he changed the name to just Peter. Not just Peter, just the name Peter. All right. Shut this thing off. All right. So, I do have what I consider to be a fun ration out tonight. Had to dig deep. Finally got Christmas stuff put up and started going through. I guess it's kind of turned into, it's like half ration storage room, and then the other half is like, Amber's got a bunch of home interior stuff in there too from years ago, like a bunch of unopened, unused, brand new home interior stuff. But it's, I don't know, it's probably 10 by 15. It's probably 15 rooms, 150 square feet, and at least half of that is rations that are, I don't know, some of them are 6, 7 feet deep, and some of them are like literally all the way to the ceiling, and I've got half of that room completely stuffed. So if there's something towards the bottom, and I always stack like heavier stuff on the bottom, light stuff on the top, and it's just progressively gotten more compacted over the years. Hence why, like, honestly, at this point, there's a lot of stuff that I have from back in the day, even. I don't even know what I've got. I cannot wait to go through everything that I have accumulated and actually organize it. And man, I'm looking forward to the day that I have. I kind of want to go the display case route, but then again, I know that I would congest it pretty quickly because I've got cool stuff, and I'd be like, oh, that's cool, put that, oh yeah, that's cool too. So if I go that route, I know what I'll do, and I don't think that's probably not the way I should go. I think just doing some shelves and putting like something that I think is cool on like one little shelf area. I've got some shelves that way right now. I just have to make them a little smaller. Yeah, so I still haven't had any luck finding a house. There's one for sale that I like, but it's way overpriced. Just like it seems like any house that is worth looking at or decent right now is overpriced by at least a third, and that's kind of about where this thing's at. It's about $125,000 overpriced in my personal opinion. I mean, it's a 3,700 square foot house, and they're asking $525,000 for it. It's way too much. Like, I just want to build my house, and it's too cold right now, so yeah, it's a rough time to buy a house. And if you're going to finance a house right now, I feel like there's a lot of people that don't understand this, but if you're going to do a 30-year fixed mortgage on a, let's just call it a $500,000 house, 500, just use 500, you're going to end up paying with your down payment, you're going to pay between 1 million and $1.1 million, maybe $1.2 million for that $500,000 house. That's bananas, and they call that a 7.5% interest rate. Yeah, it just, I don't know. It's crazy how it's laid out right now, yeah, you're paying 7.5% over 30 years per year. So you end up paying a lot. So therefore, if you're going to finance a house right now, like, I don't, don't do it. Don't. Like, you can pretty much just light your down payment on fire and throw it away because it means nothing other than getting your foot in the door. Because it's not going to, like, it is going to mean nothing in the end when it comes to the price, and then you may as well just take the price and double it, and that's what you're going to pay. So I was on TikTok earlier today, and there was a house in Tennessee. Nice house. It was like 5,400 square feet. It's kind of like, it looked kind of like a barn dominium kind of setup, and they had a great big garage, and it was sitting on 7 acres. And I looked through the comments, and I was like, man, I wonder what they're asking for this place. I figured somewhere like 600 or something like that. It's in the middle of Tennessee. Like, there's nothing around it, no big cities or anything. It's in the middle of the country. I thought reasonably, it would be a little over $100 a square foot. Yeah, I was wrong. They was asking $1.2 million for it. So ultimately, in price on that place was going to be 2.4 plus the 200 and, what was it? Is 240,000 they had to have for a down payment. Just crazy. Anyway, rations. So I thought that I had chicken and noodles out, and I like chicken and noodles was one of the first MCIs that I really dug into myself years and years ago now. For some reason, that's what I thought I had here, because I dug this out of an old case, and I must have accidentally put the chicken and noodles back in and kept the ham and eggs out. The ham and eggs box looks really good. Let's take a look at it. Ham and eggs, typically, I don't know why exactly, other than the fact that it must not be very acidic. That, or the egg, like, the egg does something to coat the inside of the can. I don't know. Typically, this is not always the case, because I have seen ham and eggs rusted completely through to where there's more or less nothing left. But I've also had a ham and eggs from 1957 that was, I swear, I think it was still edible. It smelled good. It looked perfect. The can itself was perfect. It was in a flight feeding meal. It was from a in-flight meal, and it was I don't know, man. It was in perfect shape, and I've still to this day regret not frying that up and at least tasting it, because it didn't smell metallic. It didn't look off in any way, and I feel bad about not trying that one. But I've had other ham and eggs chopped that were in, I would say, close to as good a shape, if not, the same kind of condition, to where it looked like there was no decay to the main whatsoever. And again, I don't really know exactly why the ham and eggs chopped seems to hold up so well. But in my experience, ham and eggs chopped is one of the, I guess it's really one of the best mains as far as how well it preserves. Then I can't think of any one that's better. I sent Steve a 1965, ham and lima beans that I got years and years and years. It's still, if you look on his channel, it's ham and lima beans review from years and years and years ago. It's probably been like 6-7 years ago now. But the ham and lima beans, it seemed like held up pretty well. The can in that one, the box, like everything was in really good shape, if I remember right. That's another one that seems like it holds up, but it's one you don't see very often. I don't see the ham and lima beans very often. I think they stopped doing it in like, must have been like 66 or 65, maybe 67, somewhere along in there. So this says a B1A unit. Now this is going to be after they started going to the smaller B units. So this box, well, It's got staining on it from a adjacent box. That is not from, I don't think that's from this box. That looks like it's a exterior stain. And then you got a little spot right there that looks like it could possibly be coming from this box, but if it is, it's something fairly new that has ruptured and happened. And then that I'm convinced came from a can next door. That could have been from Peaches, which is kind of what it looks like. Let me smell. It don't have any smell to me whatsoever. I don't know if my ability to smell is just not good right now or what. Let's take a look inside. Anyway, this thing looks good. Let's look at the bottom. Ooh, that does not sound good at all. That sounds like a maraca. Nothing but rust. NBR. Uh-oh. What the heck? Alright, so we do have a little bit of decayed food stuck to the outside of this. I'm just going to kind of try to remove it. Get that off my finger if I can. Ugh. That looks like some kind of fruit. It's sticky, turned black. The accessory packet definitely has rust on it. The case that I took this out of, I have the P38s were falling out of it, so I put them up. Put them back in the box, but I put them up. Let's see. You can barely read this thing. Let me see if I turn this light out. There we go. Accessory packet. Cigarettes, matches, chewing gum, toilet paper, coffee instant, cream substitute, sugar, salt, and stimulator interdental. Honestly, that's a really, really good looking accessory packet. This thing is in mint condition outside of getting that little bit of sludge on it down here, which is well on the outside of the pressed seal on the outside, so that's a good thing. I mean, this thing is it's mint and it's still airtight. So this thing has still got the air, 1969 or 70, whatever year this is, trapped inside it, and it's completely airtight. Now, I opened that case for the first time a year or two ago. I can't remember how long ago it's been exactly. All right, so good looking accessory packet, and we have our MCI spoon. It's also carried over into the MRE. Nice, look at this. We got us a can of peanut butter. It's looking like 1970. It looks like a September of 70. I'm going to guess that's what that is. A lot of times the stamps on the peanut butter, though, don't correspond to the year. I've noticed that. So that could be nothing. I mean, that could just be random lot code numbers. And here is our B1A unit that has crackers and candy. And it's speckled with tons of decayed can. It's glistening on the top. I don't know if you can see it. Let me look on the camera. You can't really see it. I can see it in person. Just looks like a bunch of metal stuck to the top. And that says 1971. January of 1971. So I guess that could be September of 70. And this could be January of 71. That's only 4 months apart. So it's very possible. Peanut butter from 70. B unit from 71. And look inside the box. Like something is definitely decayed in here. Alright, that's not wanting to come up. Ooh. Sent some stuff flying there. That's not going to come out of that can, I just stuck my finger through the side of it. It's completely rusted through right there. So that is our culprit when it comes to all this rust. Let's see what our ham and eggs chopped look like. I'd say that they were damaged by the fruit. Oh, it's bloated. Definitely bloated. It's also got a 70 on it. I'm going to go dump this rust because it's just getting all over the table. Be right back. Grab a little foxtail here. Oh, I did lose a piece of freaking cardboard. Huh. In the trash. Let me go wipe this off real quick too. Well, I don't think this is ruptured or anything. It might be right there. It would take some scrubbing to see. All right. So we got our accessory packet, a spoon, B1A unit, and the ham and eggs chopped can just go right back into its home in this box, and we will open the MRE. Because I'm not in the business of eating bloated foods. It's a nice, really nice displayable example of an MCI though. Just got that little stain right there. But display wise, you could display it this way or to the either side quite well. It's a nice example of an MCI. Nice displayable MCI. All right. Put that there. Now, this is a Right Away Foods, so Rafco. I believe this is from 1987. Not actually 100% sure. And it is a menu number 8 beef diced with gravy. So let's find out if this thing is any good and what all came in this, because I don't know. I probably should wash my hands first, huh? At least rinse them off, because yeah, I guess. I mean, that's probably not good for my food. I'll be right back. All right, I feel better. Let's see what's in this thing. Start off with the big box. Uh-oh. What is that? I almost can't freaking smell anything. I don't understand. Anyway, we got the big box of the beef diced with gravy, so that means this has to be after 85. There's a date on this thing, though. Huh. There's supposed to be one right there, but I cannot see it for the life of me. Yeah, I can't tell what that says. Huh. Maybe something else will give up a date in here. Oh, I guess I opened this upside down. No, I opened it right. What else we got? Ooh. I haven't had pears, freeze-dried pears, in a long time, and I freaking love the pears. They're always really nice and sweet, and they got a whole lot of pear flavor, which is not always the easiest thing to do, because like sometimes pears aren't that flavorful. Really nice looking crackers. No date on the crackers. No date on these either. What the heck? Maybe this is... What else we got? Let's see here. Nice. Cocoa beverage powder that did not make it. Huh. Well, that sucks. It's the first time I've encountered that. Feels like a, I don't know, like rubbery, kind of like a taffy. I don't see a pinhole in it anywhere. Wait. Huh. The seal looks good all the way around. There's a date right there. Wait a second. What the heck? That looks like an 86. 6036D. Or maybe that's a 5. Kind of looks like a 5, doesn't it? I can't really tell. It's either an 85 or 86. I'm pretty sure it has to be an 86. Maybe something else on here will tell us. What else we got here? Oh, brownies chocolate covered. Those things are always not a treat. Ah, this right here will tell us. That has to be an 86, 87, whatever, 86. It has to be an 86. We got our accessory packet A. Coffee, cream substitute, sugar, salt, chewing gum, matches, and, of course, toilet paper or butt ration. And what else we got in here? We got 2 more things in here. We got our spoon and a packet of grape jelly that is very liquidy, super runny. May as well mix it up. It actually might thicken it up in this case. Usually when you do this, it thins it out, but this was already so runny that mixing the gelatin back in together will thicken it up a little bit. That's going to be an interesting eat. All right, there we go. There's everything. I mean, this one's got like a pearlescence to it. Really, it does. It doesn't pick up on camera so well as it does in person. But that matte finish gives it like a pearlescence versus this one. She's dulled out a little bit. Yeah, there's a clear difference. The one on the, over here definitely looks aged a little bit. It's got a little bit of rust coating going on. All right, packages were even a little bit different size. It's got rust in it. All right. It sucks my cocoa beverage powder didn't make it. We'll open it up and take a look at it. All right, let's get this opened up. This should have a date code on it as well, the retort. Let me get it thrown in some water. Oh, cool. So weird. I guess that's from laying it on like a cooling rack after they cooked it or something. Well, that's weird too. Great big 1, little 2. There we go. Again, I guess that's from the cooling rack. I don't know. Beef diced with gravy. We've got a weird looking 6049. So 49th day of 86, I suppose. All right, I'm going to go through this in some boiling water. Yep, and I'll be right back. I only want to let that thing sit in there for 3 minutes. So at 36, I'm going to go get it. Get the tray out here. All right. Crackers. Jelly. Brownie. Pears. Take a look at that. Right off the bat, we got our United States issued butt ration, and it's not blue, it's white. It's been the first year they went back to the white, I guess. I can smell the accessory packet, and it smells good. It smells good, and that gum looks absolutely mint perfection. We got our sugar, coffee instant type 1, cream substitute dry non-dairy. Feels like it might still be viable. And of course, we've got a huge packet of iodized salt. That's almost the amount a grown man's supposed to have for the entire day. 5 grams, I believe, is all you're supposed to intake in a day. That, and you don't really want that kind of salt anyway. And we got our, of course, they're going to be D.D. Bean and Sons out of North Carolina. White tip, black matches. Of course, strike on back. All right. That's everything. I guess I'll cut this open. That sucks. Really sucks. One of my favorite parts of a vintage MRE is the cocoa beverage powder. Yeah, it smells weird and old. But I'm going to try just a little tiny piece and see if maybe it's worth reconstituting. It wasn't big enough to really tell. Let me go get that main out. Minnie, chill. Alright. Not bad. Had to start some water boiling as well. This is cheesy. This is not. Yeah, this is not going to work, unfortunately. So, I'm not even going to try it in water because it tastes, well, cheesy. It's got a funk to it, that's for sure. There ain't no doubt. Alright. Let's get some coffee instant type 1 rolling. Who made this? General Foods Corporation out of White Plains, New York. The car, she sounds like a broken lawnmower. Hang on. She makes noise again. I'll go let her out. Had a little bit of chunk to it. Kind of weird. Smells good though. Smells real good. Yummy. Alright. Cream substitute. Let's see if this is any good. Yep, looks good. I wasn't sure if that was going to be any good or not. And our sugar. Just waiting on the water now. Let's open the brownie. Yeah, there she goes. Just a second, Minnie. These things are always such a treat. Coming, Minnie. She wouldn't go out. All right. Coffee. I had a little bit too much water. Well, that's cool looking. I'm just gonna let that sit. Looking all good. It does look good, doesn't it? Nice. It's a nice looking coffee. Crackers. Oh, well, there's probably a hiss there. Smell a little bit weird. Pungent, actually. Kind of broken too, which is a little bit unusual. Put the salt in there. Trash bag. All right, let's go to Hopefully this peanut butter is not extremely separated. It probably is. This one's actually getting kind of dull, it seems like. I think I got another one in my pocket. Can't use a 51. It's too big for that little can. There we go. Nice new one. Newish. Newer. Alright. See what this peanut butter is looking like. Oily as as always, I'm sure. Watch it not be. That's cool. I'll eat my words on that one. I don't care. To not have a oily mess peanut butter. These things are rather difficult to open as well. These small cans. I mean, it's not super hard to do. It's just kind of a pain in the butt because you got to take little tiny swipes at it. And the edge isn't the best for grabbing the P38. See how tiny the edge is on it. Right. That should be good. Oh, look at that. I'm going to eat my words. That is a good looking peanut butter. My goodness. Huh. I guess it could take some mixing. At least a little bit. There's a little bit of oil around the outsides there. But all in all, it's a little fat separation going on there. A little unusual to see. Nice. This is one of the best mixed up ones I've ever had. Usually they are separated, or, well, I mean, sometimes they're separated but not hard to reconstitute and mix together. And then sometimes, like, the part that's separated out is hard as a rock and virtually impossible to get to go back together. This, on the other hand, is looking really promising. All right. Now I'm going to use this cracker, at least somewhat, clean the spoon off. That that is a piece of metal. That from the can. Yep, that sucks. That's what the P38 does. Right there. On my finger. Sometimes you end up with little tiny shavings like that. And I guess you just eat them. I just happened to catch that one. So, There's another piece right there. Right there. That sucks. And another one right there. It's all through it. Huh. All right. Let's get this B unit opened up. Crackers and Candy, B1A. From January of 71. Let's see if we get a hiss. No hiss. It's kind of a good thing. Should have went in there and just got the can opener that opens it the right way. The best way. You can even put the lids back on them when you use that other can opener. So I just wasted this can. That was stupid on my part. Didn't even think about it until it was too late. Can's kind of flimsy. Once the lid's being cut, kind of like we got real soft. All right, we are in. Of course, we got crackers, corrugated paper. Looks like we got 4 of them. They actually smell really good. What in the world is going on there? What the heck? I've never seen that before. Is that just flour? Or salt? What is that? Huh. I don't know what's going on with that. Huh. Well, I guess we'll find out. What else is in here? We got some really good looking aluminum foil. What are these? Can't even read the print on that hardly. I mean, they look brand new. Like, it's so cool to see something from 1971 that is so pristine. All right, it says candy, chocolate disc, sweet milk with almonds. Who made these? Wilbur Chocolate Company. I'll tell you what, the best ones I ever had was the Hershey ones. I had 2 discs like this that were Hershey's, and I don't know that I've ever had any other ones before. I saved one of them, and I saved the other one too. I saved the wrapper But yeah, these are pretty standard as far as like the Wilbur goes. It's kind of hard to see the print on them. I mean, that's about what they look like in person. You just got to catch that right perfect angle to be able to see it. It says ingredients: sugar, almonds, non-fat dry milk, vegetable fat, other than cocoa butter, chocolate, sorbitan, monostearate, polysorbate, 60, salt, sorbic acid, vitamin C, vanilla, it's artificial vanilla, vitamin A, BHT, BHA, thiamine, hydrochloride, and vitamin B something. I don't know if it's B1, B2, B1, vitamin B1. You can see it a little bit on this one. There you go. This is a type 12, style 2, class 2. I mean, wow. That's a lot of different classifications going on there. All right, we'll check one of those out. Put one of those back in there. Put the corrugated paper back in. And I'm going to put, since I got all these other crackers, I'm putting 2 of these crackers back in here. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. We got beef diced with gravy still yet to go. Where is it? There it is. Get my bowl. I just seen something, notification pop up. Steve posted a video just now. What'd he post? Cuban beef picadillo prototype US MRE meal ready to eat. So it's a 2023 prototype, it says. And then Gabe just posted a video too, gabeRILLA. Alright, beef diced gravy. Let's see if this is any good. If this meal is good, then it's good. Like, I like the beef diced with gravy. I've had a couple good experiences with it before, but usually this one doesn't hold up. Just going to be honest. Look at that. It actually smells good. All right, I think my bowl's clean. Here we go. Nice. There's a lot of beef left in this thing. All right, good enough. Let me get through this real quick. All right, if this is edible, I will be shocked. Hey, Smitty's here. What's going on, Smitty? Richard, Myatt? Myatt. Oh, you're from England. Tried to stay awake. Oh, I don't know what time it is over there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Richard. Appreciate that, mate. Well, this is definitely not the most appetizing looking meal, I guess. I mean, the beef, though, like, look at that. That just looks like some good old roast beef. I'm not going to go super heavy on the first bite, though. Let me see if there's any weird adverse side effects. And it's 3:19 a.m. Yeah, I stay up late, so that's pretty normal for me. But that's late to most people. So thanks for staying awake for and hanging out with us. All right, here we go. Down the hatch, y'all. I don't want to judge it too quickly. So, first impressions, though, I like the texture of the meat. It's got a really nice chew to it. It's not soft and like falling apart because it's old or been sitting in gravy for how many years? Let's see, 86 to 2024. 96, 06, 16. So, well, we got 30, 37, 38 years. Okay, I don't feel anything weird. It's kind of salty. It's got a really nice savory, brown gravy flavor. Just a lot of beef going on here. Lots of beef flavor. I'm going to go for a big bite. Here we go. Down the hatch. I am surprised at how much texture that meat has, really. It's kind of I would call it like a tough roast beef kind of a texture. 10:21 Central Time. What time we got here on the East Coast? 10:22 here. I mean, it seems like the perfect consistency to use as like a dip for the cracker. I should have checked them crackers first, because they're kind of weird. I feel like that is definitely the way to eat that. These crackers. Man, there's just a lot of flavor to these crackers. I thought they were maybe off a little bit, but I don't think that's the case. I think they're just really heavily seasoned with the malted barley and maybe like some celery or something. I don't know. There's something else going on in these crackers. And it's not an age thing, I don't think. I don't think age does anything at all to these crackers, really. Unless the packaging's compromised, then obviously they'll go bad. But as long as the packaging's good, these crackers, I think, are exactly the same way they were the day they were packed. So nice chunks of beef in there. The gravy itself is nice too. And there's shreds of the beef all through the gravy itself. This is probably one of the best beef diced with gravies I've ever had. I mean, honestly. It's got just the slightest bit of the metallic packaging flavor, but other than that, like, it's very edible. And really, it probably shouldn't be. 37, 38-year-old beef. Usually when I have these and they're like edible and even like palatable, usually they still have like this weird tongue feel. Like they'll make your tongue kind of sting a little bit, kind of get a little bit of numbness, or you'll get like that itchiness in the back of your throat. Not with this one. This one is in impeccable condition. Really, it is. Like, that's a heaping pile. Mm-hmm. These crackers are nice and salty, too. Mm-hmm. I think using it like a like a chip dip though. It really is an unusual thing to find an edible beef diced with gravy though. Like, I'm all in. I'm committed. I've eaten enough of this to hurt you. And like I said, it's not like I'm just eating it just because it's eating old food. No, this is actually good. I mean, it's certainly palatable. I mean, but it's beyond that. It's tasty. If it wasn't for that slight metallic flavor to it, it'd be perfect. But it does have that like slightly off metallic flavor going on. It doesn't look good. That was the first thing I thought when I dumped it out. I was like, that does not look appetizing at all. And it really doesn't. I mean, it's an ugly dish. That's, I would say, like the main thing that hurts it is its presentation. It doesn't present well. We could say a lot of nasty things about what this looks like because it doesn't look good. I wish it was a little bit warmer. I mean, it's warm, but it's cooled down a good bit since I started with it. So I'm going to try this MCI cracker. See what it's tasting like. Tastes a lot like the chocolate. a lot. I mean, if you didn't tell me that there was chocolate in there with it, I would still say that this, like that, immediately that's what I pick up on. A very slight sweetness until you chew on it just for a second, and then it goes away. But it has a very strong chocolate flavor to it, initially. All right, crackers from 1970, mixed with beef from 1986. Those crackers are a lot more tender than these. These are a lot stiffer. Yeah, I want to go to Alaska too. I'd like to go up there and explore some of those old military bases and stuff. You know, there's some bunkers that are untouched up there. Has to be. Old bunkers. I wonder if there's like any old ships frozen into ice down in Antarctica or anything that still have food on. Did you guys hear about the explorers that got stuck and they found woolly mammoths that had been frozen for supposedly, what'd they say, 90,000 years or something, and literally ate the woolly mammoth? I want to try that. I want to try woolly mammoth. The oldest meat ever eaten. That'd be crazy. Oh, I know there's tons of bunkers in Alaska. But I mean, there's forgotten bunkers. Forgotten caches of food. At least I've heard rumors. All right, I really don't want to waste this, so I'm going to take a couple more bites here. Just real quick with the cracker here. I'm going to call it done. I will share this with the cats, because once it cools down, I ain't going to want it. And stuff like this doesn't heat up well. The liquid will separate out of it and be real runny. And then you can try to mix it back in, but it won't. Kind of weird, actually. All right. I still want to know what the heck is going on with this cracker. I'll figure it out here in a second. All right, I'm going to wash that down with some Type 1. Coffee Instant Type 1. Nah, not the best cup of Type 1 I've ever had, actually. Something a little weird about it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the creamer or what. Huh. All right. Let's check out the jelly. Actually, we'll do the brownie next. This ugly thing. Oh. I mean, as good a shape as everything's been in, if there's going to be a brownie that's held up as edible, it might be this one. So it doesn't look bad at all. The nuts don't even look bad. Look how good the nuts look. That's what she said. Give it a try. Here we go. That's a big bite. Those things are never good, by the way. Never. I've had one that was ever edible, and it's the brownie itself gets crunchy and hard. The chocolate coating is not the same. It doesn't taste like the same chocolate coating as the oatmeal cookie. It's kind of like, how do I describe it? It's kind of like eating a tender chalk. That's like the consistency of it. And that has coated my entire mouth with a waxy, just a very strange, thick, waxy coating. Kind of similar to, like if you were to eat just raw fat, like lard. You know how like sometimes you'll have like a donut or something, and you got to take your thumb and just kind of scrape the roof of your mouth. That coating, that's exactly what I got going on right now. It's like, I don't get that. I don't like it. The brownie sucks. It's fully edible though. Outside of the waxiness and weird coating in my mouth, which is not, it's not numbing or anything like that. It just, I don't know. There's not hardly any flavor to it. It's very slightly sweet when you first bite it because of the chocolate on the outside, and that's gone quickly. And then you're left over with this very dry, chalky, crunchy, I guess brownie substance. It's just, it's not good. It's not good. Huh. My stomach is kind of starting to cramp a little bit. Maybe that beef wasn't as good as I thought it was. It tasted good. Looked good. All right. It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat. All right. I can already tell this jelly is just going to be super duper runny. All right. I know what's going to happen here. It's going to pour out like, oh, look at that. All right, here we go. I didn't know it was going to come out that quick. Down the hatch. So the jelly tastes good. It's just really inconvenient to try to eat when it's so liquefied. Tastes good though. Nice sweetness. That's really where it ends. Not really any grape flavor to it. Let's try a bite of the peanut butter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how Russia didn't end up with Alaska. All right, that's the best I can do peanut butter jelly wise. Here we go. Peanut butter's perfect, by the way. I mean, you really couldn't ask for anything more. The texture's spot on. Consistency. Flavor. It's nice. All right, so I'm going to lick that and see if it's salt or something. I don't know what it is. All right, here we go. And just kind of give it a, yeah. It's not salt. I don't know. It's like a little area of it didn't get cooked right or something. I really don't know. Well, look at that. All right. I do not know what that is. Huh. It tastes kind of like the cracker, I guess. I don't know if it's flour. Or what it is. It kind of has like the chocolate flavor to it. I don't know. I guess if it's flour, I don't know how it wasn't on the other ones. Especially being right up against each other. Weird. Weird. All right. Yep. Huh? Peanut butter's so good. All right. Chocolate and almonds. Oh my. Wow. Look at the perfection that is this candy bar. Candy disc, whatever. Holy cow. Have you guys ever seen one that looked that good? I mean, that's really probably the best looking one I've ever seen. I mean, just a tiny little, I mean, barely little bit of blooming right there. It legitimately does look brand new. It looks like you can buy this out of the store right now. And it smells incredible. As far as Wilbur chocolate goes, that's what it smells like. It smells like the same, like, Wilbur chocolate that you can buy today, like from Palmer. Pretty sure it's the same thing, Wilbur and Palmer. Or Palmer makes Wilbur, Wilbur makes Palmer, something like that. I mean, the nuts don't even look wrong in this. And I'm telling you, it smells absolutely perfect. It doesn't smell off at all. A lot of times these things will start to smell like just wrong. It's interesting that it is so well preserved. I didn't expect that from this, to be quite honest. Give it a try. Oh, it's soft. the consistency is way different because it's like fresh. Usually these things kind of harden up, get a lot stiffer over time. I'm not going to say it's the best one I've ever had because it's not. But it doesn't have any off flavor to it whatsoever. It does. These things had a unique kind of flavor to them anyway. Back then. I don't know how to describe it. The texture's just, it's so fresh and tender. It's unusual. All right. Quick bite with the peanut butter. That makes it taste 10 times better. Really. Those crackers with that peanut butter, there wouldn't be much to complain about. Rinse it down real quick and check the pears out. I wonder if that'll peel apart right there. Probably not. Yeah, no. And here the vacuum let loose. Ooh, oops. Didn't mean to do that. Look at that. That is a good look at freeze-dried pears. Those little crystals and stuff you see around it that's the like syrup that they're in. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Richard. We appreciate it, man. All right. I seen Smitty was leaving too. Night, Smitty. Pears, freeze-dried. Here we go. Getting ready to open the accessory packet right after this too. The pears are very different than the other, like, doesn't compare to the peaches or the mixed fruit. The pears has the most intense flavor by, like, I would say by threefold. But the pears absorb moisture quick. I guess they all do, but I've noticed the pears really do. All right. It's accessory packet time. There's really only one reason we're opening this up, because I'm not taking the coffee or anything out of it. There's no real point in that, because we got a coffee right there, instant type 1. So let's take a look what is inside this 1970, I believe, accessory packet. Oh, of course. Stick my nose in it. Good old-fashioned Marlboros. Yep, there they are. What kind of gum we got in here? Right here. Got the Chiclets Peppermint by Adams. Coffee. Excuse me. It's creamer. Just regular coffee instant with ascorbic acid, 2.5 grams net. Manufactured by United Instant Coffee Corporation. All right. Yeah. Go on, Mama. All right. Oh, wow. It smells like gum, tobacco, fruit. It's been a while since I had a filtered Marlboro. The filtered vintage cigarettes, like, they still taste like the filter. Like, even though I should be picking up a lot more of a, like, do the other end. See, I could cut the filter off of this, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if that. I kind of want to. I really do. I kind of want to just experiment. But when you do that, like the tobacco rolls down into the filter about that far, where my finger's at. So by dry hitting the other end, it just tastes better. A lot better. What do you guys think? You think I should cut the filter off of it? Oh yeah. I've been meaning to hit Sean up. It's been like probably about a month since I talked to him. I need to message him. See how he's doing. He was going through a move. He had to move all the museum stuff. Like it was a whole thing. Like it was a big deal. And he was doing a lot of work to the new house that he bought. I think he bought a house that he was moving into. So let me get some vintage matches here. Yeah, I don't know if I should cut the filter off or not. I kind of feel like I should. But I mean, it'll smoke right if I leave the filter on it. It'll taste better if I take the filter off of it. And I've never had a military non-filtered Marlboro before. I've had a couple vintage Marlboros before, but they weren't military issue. They didn't come out of an accessory packet or anything. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Take this razor blade. What's the worst that could happen? Kind of a big deal here. See? How much tobacco I just kind of wasted. All right, here we go. Marlboro non-filter. Military issue. Whoa. Wow. Not what I was expecting. Holy cow. That's 100 times better than it would be with the filter. It's got a slight harshness to it on the finish, but super smooth until that very end. And it's got a lot of robust flavor. A lot. Like there's a lot of flavors going on here as far as tobacco goes. That's probably one of the better non-filters I've ever had. How have I not done this before? I've never cut the filter off an old Marlboro before. I've always kind of felt like it was destruction. Being destructive, cutting the filter off. Like, yeah, the filter's 50, 60 years old too. Like, well, the filter, they don't really age like the tobacco. You know, they don't. There's no improvement there. If anything, it's probably a negative on the filter. Maybe I don't think it really changed. I don't think the filter changes. In turn, a filtered vintage cigarette, there's nowhere near as much of the vintage cigarette experience when you have a filtered cigarette versus a non-filter. Non-filter vintage cigarette has a whole different level. Now, some of the 80s and 90s cigarettes, filtered cigarettes that I have, like, they're definitely different. Like, I think they might have been different back then anyway, though. I mean, that is that's a man's cigarette. There ain't no doubt about that. That thing's strong. And it's got a lot of, like, I don't know, just that vintage tobacco flavor coming through. It's almost a feel, like you can feel it. It's nice. It's real nice. That's really nice. I'll do this again, for sure. Next filtered whatever. I want to try it with those Benson and Hedges, I think they are. Because I think a lot of that menthol that comes from those comes from the filter. So flip it around, cut the filter off, it might be a lot better. Yeah, this is definitely the way to go. As far as, like, the weather goes, we need to stop messing with it. I mean, who else thinks it's a good idea to stop screwing with Mother Nature? They've been manipulating the weather since the 40s for sure. They did it when Chernobyl happened, which was the 80s, but still. They've been seeding clouds. They've been using that HARP, which I think that HARP, there's a lot more going on there than meets the eye. According to a guy that worked there. You know, you got to take stuff like that somewhat with a grain of salt, but if you're not going to believe the people that were there that actually worked with the stuff, then who are you going to believe? Good night, LC. Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of messing with the weather. I still question what happened in Maui, as it's not beyond. Okay, let's just take all the conspiracy theory crap out of it. Let's just talk about the response to it. The family's got $750. They're still not allowed in their house. Their insurance claims have not been paid out because the insurance companies are not allowed in their houses. Why? If it was just a wildfire, why are the insurance companies not allowed to go in and assess the properties? What sense does that make? They can't go in and assess the properties to just declare it destroyed or whatever. So the families, therefore, have not gotten paid out a dime yet to this day. But that's messing with the weather, in my opinion. There's stuff going on that doesn't make any sense. There was a storm that just hit. Where was it? Oh man, I can't even remember where it was at. Wiped out the whole coastline though, like all the hotels and stuff. 89% of the hotels were completely wiped out. And we didn't hear anything about it for like the first 3 days because they had no internet, they had no power. Kind of similar to what was going on with Maui. There wasn't a whole lot of reporting and stuff. There was one guy, and that one guy, he lived there, ended up getting chased out of the state of Hawaii. Because he was going around videoing what was going on. They blocked the roads. All the kids that are missing, like, still, what the heck? I don't know. I debated on going to Maui whenever we went to Hawaii, and I decided against it because I seen locals saying that they didn't want people coming. And now I've seen a lot of locals saying they do want people to come back because they've got no tourism going on. And that's what really kept that island alive. But you got rich people live there that are, in my opinion, not helping. What about K Ration Cigs? I have a pack of Fleetwoods, actually. I have not. Wait, yes, I have had. I've had one Fleetwood, um, and it wasn't good. It was. I'm not going to say it was bad, but it was very reminiscent of old pipe tobacco. Like it was harsh. It was dry, but it was eesh, or my fingers. The Fleetwoods are they're a rare brand to see pop up. Really, I have a pack unopened on display back there. I don't know if I'll ever open them, but I had a loose one I got it from Steve. That was the only way I got to try one. I mean, I guess I could open the pack that I have. That pack that I have, I think I paid $60 for it back whenever. I mean, we're talking probably 5-6 years ago, I'd say. Back when you could like still kind of afford to buy stuff. I mean, that was outrageous because there's only, I think, 3. I think it's a pack of 3. Might be a pack of 4. I can't remember. I can't see them behind my board right there, but I know they're in there. I've got some really, really cool vintage smokes now. I've amassed quite a collection. And then the international stuff that Delicious has sent me. Holy cow. Got some really cool stuff from Gabe, too. Gabe hooked me up with a pack of Durhams that are from like 1903, I believe. And then I've got a pack, an actual roll. It's an actual rolled pack, and they're from 1905, I think. I opened them up long before I started a YouTube channel, and just looked at them. I never really thought about smoking them at that point, and I've always wanted to make a video with that pack, smoking the oldest cigarette I ever smoked. The oldest rolled cigarette. Because rolled cigarettes weren't exactly common until after World War One. That was one of those things that kind of, the war and rationing, guys being given tobacco, papers, donuts, and chocolate as trading fodder. And they would always keep the tobacco and the rolling papers, and they'd trade off the donuts and the chocolate for stuff that they needed from locals. But they would always, not always, but a lot of times they would keep the tobacco and use it themselves. And it's something that kind of carried over after the war. You got a pack that's still. How many was in it, Viper? What do you do, commercial buildings? I'm not all involved in any of that, but I'm largely lost property insurance adjuster. Oh, so like the stuff I was talking about in Maui. The building that I want to build for my house is going to be kind of like a commercial building. Kind of. I guess it could be built like a commercial building, except it had to be insulated. if I do it that way, it's basically going to be the metal building on the outside, and then you're going to have to frame up an entire another house on the inside, more or less. You're like building a house inside of a building. And I still don't know if I really want to go that route or not. I don't know. There's aspects of it that I like because you've got that free open space and you don't have to have any center supports when you do the metal buildings and the way they're set up. You've got completely open space on the inside, so it gives you the freedom to have 20-foot ceilings if you want 20-foot ceilings. And I kind of do like, I want part of my house to be that open. I want it to have that open ceiling and like huge feeling. Initially, I was going to do a 40 by 70, and I was going to do three garage bays, or three garage bays on the end, with 12-foot wide doors, I believe. Is that how I was going to do that? 14 would be 28, 38. Yeah, so it'd have to be 12-foot doors. I'd love to build a house that's, I guess I really don't necessarily want to, I want a bunker, of course. I'd love to have a bunker. And I feel like it wouldn't be all that hard to do. It's just, when you go doing it yourself, then you got to worry about the air filtration system, the backup generator, the generator, whatever. And then you really need to have some alternate power source. So you need to put up a windmill or have solar panels or something, because it's a fuel issue. If something is to ever happen, you're not going to be able to get gas. Like, gas is going to be a problem. And even if you go natural gas, who's to say the natural gas will keep flowing? So Fleetwood is a 4-pack. Email me a pic. Hang on a second. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to see. I'd have to take everything out of the way to be able to see mine. So, okay. There was a pack that came out of a can, and it wasn't a big full pack can like the accessory pack cans. It was in a B unit, and it seemed like there was Fleetwoods in that can, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a July of like 1941, I think. Like, it was like a July of 41 B unit. Minnie is meowing. Yeah, gasoline today, like, you can't keep it either. Like, that's another thing. It used to be back in the day. And see, it's something else that they've done on purpose. But back in the day, if you had a car that was parked in the 60s or the 70s, like gasoline from the 60s and 70s, you could leave that car set with that gas in it and go out 10 years later and fire that vehicle up on that old gas, and it would run. Now, if you have, okay, let's say 10 years ago, you got a car you parked 10 years ago and you left gas in it, had a full tank in it, whatever, had a half a tank in it, and you go out to start that car, it's going to ruin your fuel injection system. It's going to ruin your fuel pump. It's going to ruin everything. So you got to immediately take all that off there before you can even try to start the car up and put an alternate source of gasoline for the vehicle in there, or you'll just ruin your entire fuel system, injection system, everything. It'll clog your injectors. It sucks, man. Like, they have planned obsolescence in everything. Everything from light bulbs to refrigerators to everything. I saw a thing. I can't remember if it was if it was a state-wide lawsuit or if it was a nationwide lawsuit. And this woman was buying LG products, LG refrigerator. She bought an LG refrigerator. It lasted 3 years, a little less than 3 years. And Minnie, Minnie, come here. Lasted 3 years, and she like couldn't believe it. Went and took it back to him. Was like, hey, you know, this definitely should last longer than 3 years. You buy a refrigerator, really, honestly, a refrigerator should last you as long as you want it to. Come here, Minnie. Come here, Minnie. Come here. Come here, honey. Minnie. Come here. Come here. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Come here, Minnie. Come here, honey. Come here. It's okay. She's not up there. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. Minnie. Come here. Come here. That's a girl. Come here. That's a girl. Come here, honey. Yeah. Come and say hi to everybody. Say hi. And get some cat fur on me. Oh, there's a pretty girl. There's a pretty girl. Oh. My mini cat. Yeah. My mini girl. She's by far the oldest cat in the house that I know of. I mean, I guess there's a couple that could be older that I don't know how old they are. Garfield, I don't know how old he is. He's old, though. And Mama, I think she's pretty old. She could be roughly the same age as Minnie, but I don't know. But Minnie, she's in good shape for her age. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Minnie's at least 16 years old, if not older. She was at least a year or two old when she showed up. And we've been in this house 15 years, and she's been here with us the entire time. So. She doesn't have the most pleasant look. Yeah, I know. You don't look the nicest, Miss Minnie. You kind of have a mean face. Yeah, you do. Your ear looks way better than it did last time you was on the live stream with me. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It looks all better. She's making biscuits on my arm. Yeah, there's my girl. There's my girl. Yes, there is. Okay. Be right back. I don't know which one that one is. It's unusual. Who is that? Who's meowing? Is that you, buddy? Mom just brought you in. You alright, bud? Huh. Here, Minnie. Oh, Minnie. Come here, buddy. Come and see everybody. Oh. Hold on to me. This is my blind guy. He can't hardly see nothing. Can you, buddy? Huh? This is her son. And he's been around for, I think he's 13, 14, something like that. He might be about 15, actually. Yeah. He's got a crooked ear where he got in a fight 10, 12, 13 years ago. Had his ear almost ripped off. Didn't you, buddy? Huh? Here, come here. Oh, I know. Let me pet you. Oh. Don't get mad. There. There you go. Big guy. Ain't a big guy. Yeah, he is. Okay. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. You're just about as blind as a bat, ain't you? You probably are as blind as a bat, actually. I need to really look into trying to get him that surgery where they go in. I think just one eye is $1,500. They go in and take that lens off the outside, and then he can see again. Yeah. That would help him out a lot, wouldn't it? Would help you out a lot, wouldn't it, buddy? Yeah. There's your mom. Manny. Come here. Come here, Mama. All right. And this is Mama. Say hi. Say hi. She's a sweetheart. Yeah. She's got a kind soul. Don't you, honey? Say hi. Say hi. Oh, yes. Your blue cross eyes. You got pretty eyes. Yeah, Mama. Yeah, Mama. What? What? See, look in the camera. You look everywhere but the camera, huh? Look right here. What's that? Hey. Right here. Right here. Right here. Yeah, her voice box thing, she's been that way ever since she showed up here. She showed up here, she had kittens, and like her nipples were all stretched out. I don't know if something happened to her kittens, or if she just abandoned them, or if someone dropped her off here, or I don't know how she ended up here, or what her situation was. But she never left, and she never went back after the kittens or anything like that after she showed up here. And I got her fixed not long after, and she's just been here ever since. Haven't you, Mama? I let her in the wintertime because she hates the cold. But in the summertime and spring and fall, she stays outside. She loves it outside. She prefers to be outside. But she sheds like no other cat I've ever seen. Now, not too bad in the wintertime. She's pretty good. But in the spring, summer, and fall, she produces a lot of fur. Don't you? Yes. Yes, she's a good kitty. She's a good kitty. I guess maybe she's full-blooded Siamese. I don't know. She's obviously got some of that in her with her blue eyes, blue crossed eyes. Yeah, you got them cross eyes, don't you, honey? Yes, she's a good kitty. And her voice box is broken. Her meow box. Oh, I have to hit myself with the lint roller when I finish up. All right. Got to meet the cats. Oh yeah, she definitely sheds off her old coat. Even in the wintertime, she still sheds a little bit. I mean, I hate it, but what am I going to do? Eugene Francis as a girl. Eugenia, maybe? Or Eugenie, maybe? Eugenie? My best friend's name was Eugene. Carlet Eugene McClanahan. I haven't said that name in a long time. Oh, Eugenie. Okay. Eugenie. All right. Well, that was interesting. Cutting the filter off of that was cool. I will do that again for sure. It was a good night. Like good food, a lot of stuff. Surprisingly good, especially the whole thing really. The beef diced with gravy turned out to be quite awesome. Um, Everything that came out of the MCI was good. So, all right. I think that pretty much is going to wrap us up. And yeah, I've been wanting to do an MCI on a live stream for a while, and I couldn't get to them. So tonight I could. I was still kind of working on stuff Saturday, and I didn't feel too hot. So I really don't know what route I'm going to go for the next live stream or whatever. Could be, I'd have to dig something out. I could go something Canadian. I do have 5 vintage-ish Canadian IMPs left, every from 1997 to 2010. Then I got a couple other vintage ones. I don't know what I've done with them. I should have had like 3 or 4, maybe less, maybe 2 or 3 left. I think they were from like 2008. I don't know. I remember buying an 8-pack of them. Me and Sticky Fingers both got 8 of them. He said he's pretty much out of rations last I talked to him, which was a couple weeks ago. I hadn't talked to him in a long time, and I was talking to him, and he said he's pretty much out of rations and out of anything interesting to review. What the heck is my shirt? That sucks. I just washed this shirt. Huh. It's like almost like glue or something. Oh man, that really does suck. This is one of my favorite shirts. Let's see if I can order another one. But yeah, he said he was pretty much out of rations, and I told him as soon as I get to go through my stuff here, I will put him together some stuff. I got a package I need to send to Kaylin. I've got a whole package that I need to send to gabeRILLA. He's probably going to have some content from when he was here, which is actually, I think, going to be some really good stuff. We ended up, I think, if he filmed what I think he got filmed, there should be some really good stuff from when he visited this time. So hopefully that stuff will be coming out soon over on Gabe's channel. And when it does, I'll point you guys over that direction. Like I said, I'm sure the content that he collected here was good. Yeah, but as far as like Saturday, I don't know. I've got pole rations. I got a bunch of 24-hour stuff, man. 24-hour stuff is so hard. It's hard to review, especially like if you're just doing a film review. Sometimes it can be worth it, but most of the time it's not. Single meal stuff, I don't like doing 24-hour stuff because I've got so much leftovers, and nobody wants to see, like, we'll go, okay, well, we'll finish it next Saturday, and then we break out and we break a 24-hour ration into two meal settings. And number one, that's a huge amount of food both times. And number two, nobody wants to see an already opened ration that's half eaten the next live stream. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I don't like doing that. And I try to keep it to stuff that's fresh that I can open up. I'd love to be able to put together something where I could go through stuff that you guys have sent me over the years, but I don't know how much interest most folks would have in some of that stuff, most of that stuff. If people send me rations and stuff, I've done most of those on live streams, or they're stuff that needs a video. I need to get a MacBook. Even though I don't know anything at all about the editing software on there, I have that video that I filmed in Hawaii that, oh man, I filmed it on Veterans Day, so now it's like, it'll be Veterans Day again before it'll be worth me putting it out. But I could definitely get some stuff filmed. And, God, I can't wait to start building a house or something. Finding a place is, I'm pretty much giving up on it unless I'm willing to move half a state away or an entire state away. I mean, there's some decent stuff in Charleston, which is about an hour from where I live now, and I don't want to move so far away from my house here that I can't come back and do the work that I need to do here easily. If I move somewhere that's an hour plus away, like coming back and doing the stuff here is just going to be, it's not going to be impossible. It's definitely going to slow it down and slow my motivation to come back here down. And that's why I haven't made the decision to just up and move yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. There's some nice places in Huntington that are fairly decently priced, and they look like decent, nice properties. Now I need to see what the neighborhoods look like, because when you get into Huntington, Charleston, areas like that are a lot higher populated than most of the state, then you've got to pay a lot of attention to the neighborhood and what direction the neighborhood's been moving. Because I've been seeing, and this is just a known, like, a lot of the old established nice neighborhoods are not so nice anymore. A lot of the old timers that owned everything, they'll pass it down to kids, whatever, and the kids just won't take care of it. They'll let it go, and it in turn, like, it's not just one, it's like house after house that happens, and the whole area goes downhill. There is one place that if it is purchasable, I would consider moving for it. I was told that it was that the person that owns it would sell it for a decent price, and if that is possible, I'm going to look into it. But it sounded too good to be true, so that's why I haven't really been that worried about it. I just can't see them being willing to sell that place for the price that the realtor told me. I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it. I am going to look into it, though. That'd be one place that I would actually move for, because that place has kind of been a dream. It's been my dream since I was a kid. That exact place, we called it the Bosworth Mansion. It's up on top of a hill down on the other side of Point Pleasant. It's some kind of like, I've never been within view of it outside of, like, I've never been next to it. I don't know what it looks like up close. I've seen a couple old videos from like 2011 or 2014 online, and that's pretty much it. Supposedly they used to have like movie stars come in and stay at this place. I don't know how accurate that is. That's what they claim. I don't know who would come here, though. Like, the closest airport's close decent airport. There's an airport in Charleston, but it's like most flights aren't going to fly into Charleston. So if you're trying to fly somewhere out of Charleston, like you're going to be flying to another airport, most likely, from that airport. You're going to have to fly to like Detroit. There's direct flights to New York. They were doing direct flights to Myrtle Beach and I think Orlando or something from out of there. I mean, it's an international airport, but it's a tiny, it's a crap airport. Really, it is. It's always empty when I go in there. I've been in there a few times, flew out of there a few times, and it's just like there's nobody there. Parking lot's full. There ain't nobody there. Finding a piece of property right now, or a viable home, is hard. So I found a house that I really liked. About, I don't know. I found it about a year and a half ago. Kind of messed around with it for a few months. I texted the realtor, made my highest offer, and she's like, "Oh, text me, but there's no way they would take that." So I was like, "All right." I was like, "That's all I'm going to give," because I know all the work that this house needs, and that's all I'm willing to pay for it. About 2-3, I guess it's been about 3-4 months ago now, I was talking with the realtor that works directly with her, and I happened to ask about that house. I said, "Hey, whatever happened with that house down there?" I mean, I knew it sold, but I was like, what it ended up going for, like, ultimately? And she goes, "Oh, yeah, that house sold for $550." And I was like, "Really?" Because I made an offer at that, and I pulled my phone out and pulled my text up, and I said, "Here, look, I made an offer," and the realtor did not even take it to the homeowner, because she just, in the text, she's like, "Oh, there's no way they would take that." And then she's like, "Well, be glad you didn't get that house," because they had, like, I'm going to say it was probably about 1,500 square feet in the basement that was storage that they had completely full. You couldn't walk in there. Like, you couldn't walk through there and see anything. It was a huge storage room, completely full of totes and stuff. You know, they were using it for storage like it was intended. I guess that's what they intended it for. But anyway, she's like, they had a water leak in there for years and didn't know about it, and there was mold everywhere. And I was like, huh. Even though, like you find that out in the moving process and your purchase, and like there's going to be some sort of, either you're letting me out of this contract or you're taking money off because of this unforeseen issue. Well, that might be why the price was down to what it was, actually. I don't know how much they couldn't knock off no more than probably 20 grand for that, I wouldn't think. Because it was a solid poured concrete basement, so the mold, I mean, unless it was on the ceiling, which it could have been. I mean, I really don't know. But she's like, "Oh yeah, that ended up being a disaster." And there was a lot of, like, it had a nice pool area, heated pool, but it needed a little bit of work on the outside. It needed a roof soon, and a couple other things. But I would have ended up with that house had she just taken my offer to the seller. And then I was in a contract for another house that's 3 blocks away, and I was literally in the lawyer's office, and that one fell through. The day that I was supposed to buy it. So that sucked, because I had my hopes up on that one. I thought that was it. I thought that was going to, well, I didn't look at, that wasn't going to be a forever home. That was going to be like 3 to 5 year home. But yeah, I've been close a couple of times, and then I've also seen places that I would have bought that I didn't see until it was too late or something. So I've tried to stay vigilant on seeing what's out there, but there has been nothing basically come up outside of those 2 houses in the past year and a half. year and a half. It's been nothing. So everything else that I've seen that I would consider has been overpriced by at least a third. Like it's a it's a $500,000 house. They're asking $750 for it. Like way too much. That's just like this one right now that I would consider it. It's overpriced by a solid 125 right now. Like a solid 120, a lot. There's just no way. I mean, anything that's over $100 a square foot around here, like it better be marble finishes and stuff. Like, cause you're never going to get it back out of it around here. This place is low income, like low cost of living, low wages. You just, what are you going to do? All right, I'm going to get off of here, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Been in my starter home for 15 years. Things change. Thankfully, it's big enough that we aren't in a hurry to move. Yeah, well, kind of same deal here. And that's why it's like, it's time to do something. Cheetos pasta. Oh, yes. All right, I'll see what I can do. I'd have to pre-cook it beforehand. That'd be the only way I could do it, really. And it makes sense, kind of. But I will look into that. All right, guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down. Thanks to my patrons, you guys, for hanging in there, being awesome. Oh, yeah, Seattle area, Washington State, everything's 20%. The housing market has to change. Everything I've seen, like everybody who's in the markets that are realtors and stuff, the ones that talk about it on YouTube, that they're like, the market has to change. It's like it's going to come down. Prices have to come down, and we're starting to see prices on food and things come down. Not because their fighting inflation has worked, because people can't afford gasoline, because people can't afford groceries, so the prices like are forced to come down. So I know I've gave it a year though. I've already gave it that year. So I think with hopefully this election coming up and all this, giving it that year. But if I don't find something by spring, I'm ripping everything down out here and I'm going to start building right here. And which is what I think I prefer to do anyways. And it'll probably take me an entire year to get the house completely finished, everything done. But I think it could be move-in ready by 6 to 8 months. Your house taxes, assessed value went up 30 grand. That's crazy. Yeah, because usually the states, now I see that's the states getting involved with the assessed values and stuff like that. But, well, they're getting more tax money out of you. I mean, do you think it's really helped your bottom line a lot? Like if you were to sell your place, see, that's the thing. You sell your place, you're getting 10 times more than what you paid for it. But what are you going to buy to replace it? Where are you going to go to replace it? I don't think I'm against renting something, really, as long as it's nice enough, because that you don't have to pay taxes, you don't have the upkeep. Rent in certain places could be good. But all right, I started to sign off once. I'm going to do it this time. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down, folks. And I'll see y'all in the next live stream, hopefully Saturday. Yeah, I mean, I think it would definitely help everybody out. I don't think there's much argument to the contrary, really. I mean, and when people try, they sound silly, in my opinion. Yeah, our economy, our foreign policy, our border. There's a lot of stuff that's questionable at best. And then I heard something earlier today about the fact that the United States was going to be responding to something that happened in Israel or something. I don't hold me to that. I don't. Sounded like that's what was going on. I didn't really watch or listen to it much. I just kind of overheard it, and that sounds suspiciously like the kickoff to WW3. Am I wrong? Like, if that goes down, we're in trouble. It was a drone strike in Jordan. Okay. Yeah, it's all a mess. So they got 3 U.S. service members. What were we doing there in the first place? We shouldn't be there, right? Am I wrong? It doesn't seem like we should be there. I'd like to see peace in the Middle East. First time we'd ever seen any resemblance of peace in the Middle East, Trump took care of that too. Yeah, problems for millennia. I mean, it's been since the beginning of time that they've been fighting this holy war. I mean, that's the thing. We got no business sticking our nose into a holy war. We just don't. I don't care what anybody says. Like, we shouldn't be involved. As far as I know, that's been going on since literally the beginning of written time. And now, and outside of garnering peace, which, again, like I said, I think Trump kind of, well, I know he did, was the first one to ever really make anything like that happen. I don't think we need to be there. Yeah, I mean, thousands of years, legit. Like, there's no disputing the fact that it's been going on more or less forever. And honestly, like, I don't know that it'll ever end. I don't think there's really an end to it. If you even think about, like, either the most diplomatic outcome or the most horrible outcome, both ways aren't going to end it. So it's just another way to keep the American war machine lubed up and moving and doing its thing, which I used to be naive, I guess, and the more I've learned about history and the more I've learned about a lot of things that have happened, and then again, like, it's so hard to believe anything anymore, because, always the victor writes the history. So, you got to kind of wonder. Intersection of Eurasia and Africa. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like there's probably always going to be fighting going on there. Exactly, Viper. We don't need to be involved. If they want to take sledgehammers to each other's heads, that's on them for being stupid. Like, there should be a way that anybody, no matter, obviously some horrible things have happened and been done, but you've at some point got to draw a line and say, okay, from this point on, we got to put those things behind us and do better as humans. Like, this can't be how it is. So then you've always got people that go rogue and cross the line, and then you got a bigger organization getting blamed for something that some jackhole from 2 towns over decided to take the law into their own hands, or the fight into their own hands, and it causes more problems. And you got to decide where that line gets drawn. I don't know. It's one of those things that we definitely, this is just my opinion, we shouldn't get involved in, though. I don't see an end to it if we do. I don't see a good outcome. if we were to stick our nose in something where it doesn't belong, which we're real good at that anyway, which I mean, we destabilize. I think Saddam was one of the bigger mistakes that's happened in my lifetime. I do not think we should have touched that situation. Um, should have left him alone. He was keeping the area pretty much within their own, I guess, philosophy of how things are. Like, it's pretty stable. And as soon as that happened, like, it destabilized that entire area. Yeah, I mean, if we can't get our own stuff together in our own, I mean, if you're someone in any other country or any other place in the world, really, from on the outside, looking in at what's going on here, we look like a bunch of crazy people. We don't look like we should be handling anything. Like, we shouldn't be handling any of these big problems. So, until we can get things straightened out here, to where we have some resemblance of order, then we ain't got no business trying to help anywhere else. And just to be quite frank, I'm pretty sick of seeing our tax dollars, my tax dollars, your tax dollars, going everywhere else but here. That's pretty frustrating. I mean, the amount of money that's been poured into the Ukraine, that is, let's be honest, how much of that money's came back in a loop? Like, it goes over, they keep some, and it gets filtered back in, probably to the DNC. It's just gives me a headache thinking about it. Okay, I'm going to sign off here because I don't even like to think about it. I've been avoiding any type of. I ain't been watching nothing about it because what am I going to do? Like, I can't do anything about it. There are certain issues that I do think people should talk about, though, that I think there should be awareness brought to them. I mean, this issue that is an American issue in Texas right now, I'm all for immigration. I'm one of, I don't know how many people feel the same way I do, but I think if you want to come here and do better and work for the American dream, more power to the people that want to do that. But there's a process in which that needs to be done. You need to come through a legal port of entry. All this, we don't know who has come into this country. We're talking 5 million people that they know about. You gonna tell me they've counted every person? No. So if they know about 5 million, how many do they not know about? There's got to be at least another million that they don't know about, right? I'd say it's probably more than that. So you're talking, oh my gosh. And out of those millions of people, how many millions of those exact people are getting benefits that people that are homeless veterans I just saw yesterday that they're taking out of the veterans health fund and giving it to illegals. There's homeless veterans, there's veterans on medical lists that can't get the help that they need because they're allocating funds from that fund for them. What? How did this happen? Why are we even allowing this to happen? It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. And any politician that has allowed this, that has agreed to this, that has okayed this, needs to be kicking rocks without sandals. Period. Send them on their way. They're fired. They're instantly fired. If you've agreed to something like that, if you've campaigned for something like that, if you've had a part in it, you're done. Like, there's a few issues like that if you've taken part in it and agreed to it, then you just need to be done. They're anti-American, they're anti-veteran, there's like all kinds of things that you could say about some of these things that have happened over the past 3 or 4 years that are really certifiably insane when you think about it. I can't even believe some of the things that have happened that I've now found out about, that I know for a fact happened or are still happening. Most likely are still happening. All right, I'm gonna go deal with the cat. Again, thanks guys for hanging out. Thumbs up, down, either way. Just feedback. Leave a comment. Do this, do that, whatever. Subscribe. I never say that one. Subscribe to my channel. I need to start doing videos, man. I really do. Start doing videos. I'd like to start doing some sort of interview process with veterans. And then at the end of the interview, sit down and have a meal or a food item of some kind from the era that they served. They were Vietnam. They were World War II. Find some food that's edible, and of course I'll try it first to make sure I could share it, but something like that. I think it'd be awesome after we sit down and talk about whatever cool stuff that they're willing to talk about. Some guys that just don't want to talk, but some do. Some it's really good for them. All right, so I'm gonna get off here and go deal with my cat. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, man, I'd really like to start doing some sort of vet interviews, like some guys that have been involved in some really publicly big. I'd like to interview some of the Benghazi guys. You know, Navy SEALs. They usually got some interesting stories. Green Berets. Just, you know, whatever they'd be willing to talk about. Of course, I'd do my research beforehand and see what kind of good line of questioning I could come up with. But if I do something like that, I really need to have somebody that working for me, helping me out. Not only with research, but with a lot of stuff. Line of questioning, the filming process, the editing process, everything. I just need to look into doing that. All right, I'm out. Thank y'all, and I'll see y'all probably Saturday, hopefully Saturday. I'll post that I'm going to do it, obviously. I try to do it at least a couple hours in advance. All right, y'all. Later.